Preparing for college can be so expensive, from the fees for college entrance exams to college application fees, college deposits, tuition, room and board, and then thinking about what all is needed for your dorm room. It's going to add up quickly. We want to be able to save as much money as possible. I don't know about you all, but I love a good deal. And if you're listening to this in real time, it's coming out in November of 2022. The holidays are coming, and there are going to be a lot of great deals that you can find on some of those college necessities. So today we are going to do a deep dive into some potential things that you can be on the lookout for. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Courtney. I'm the founder of Confused to Ready, and I am so excited to be able to share with you on this podcast and on the journey. It's hard to believe that our podcast has been out for almost a full year. At this point, we have done some amazing things and have grown to almost 1,500 downloads. So thank you to those who listen and listen regularly. If you have not left us a review, we would love if you would do that, to be able to share information, for me to hear from you about what you would be interested in hearing more about on the podcast. So please leave a review. Let me know what you think. That also helps other people be able to hear the podcast more easily and be able to find us. The other thing that you can do is you can join our Facebook group. It's at the Facebook group is Confused to Ready, and we want to be able to continue to post in there and share with you and give you all some very specific information about that college search. So let's go ahead and get started. Outfitting a dorm or even an apartment, if you have a student who is going to be living in an apartment when they are in college, whether that be their first year, second year, sometimes it's a little bit bigger place than just that dorm room, but it's a big task and a big commitment to take on. Some people are going to be much more simplistic in their approach. They're not going to want a whole bunch of decorations or other things, and they want it to be really simple. And then others want that room to be really fully decorated, and sharing with roommates about coordinating and having a look to that room. And students are spending a lot of time in their dorm rooms. They're there with the exception of breaks from really August until the end of May, middle to end of May, and then potentially over the summer if they're taking summer courses in that apartment. So I want to be able to talk through some different options and things. Now, a little backstory is my family, we love a good deal. My mom, when we were growing up, we would always go to garage sales. The furniture that I had in apartments, in the dorm, in apartments, and even up until the time that I got married, were things that my mom found either at a garage sale or something that we had that a family member decided that they no longer needed, and that we were able to use that. And that's something that both my sister and I had. And we're very thankful for that, rather than having to go out and spend a whole bunch of money on brand new things. Now, nothing wrong with brand new stuff, but if you're working on a budget, being able to check things like Facebook Marketplace, or finding, just putting information out there to friends and family to say, hey, if you know of anything, storage bins or other pieces that you can make it more economical, that can be a really good thing. We have a bedroom suite that I purchased when I had my first apartment on my own, and it is a very heavy duty, very well put together, big name, but I got it for a very inexpensive price because we found a good deal. So that's something to consider. I know that with Thanksgiving just being around the corner, again, if you're listening to this in real time, that there will be a lot of ads with Black Friday or with Cyber Monday, and so potentially some things that you can find with holiday deals. Now, I'm not gonna say, I'm not here to say that you need to go out and buy any of these things, just some options for you to consider. And there are going to be different deals that will happen between now and move-in time. And even if you get to a point where you're moving in to your dorm or apartment and say, oh my gosh, I really need this. If it's out of stock, just give it a little bit of time and it will be back in stock for you to have what you need. Some people, like I said, will look at deals on Facebook Marketplace. Other people will actually, if you live near a college, oftentimes when students are moving out of dorms, and especially some of those big ticket items like futons or storage or TV stands or things like refrigerators, or if you're in a dorm and you have risers for a bed, or you're going to build a loft for a bed, those kinds of things. Students that don't want to take that with them, sometimes they'll just leave that at the dorm and the college will sell it for a very inexpensive price. So that could definitely be worth looking into and finding out what's going to happen at the end of this school year. So a couple things to consider before you go out and you're buying large items. Some people might not have even applied to colleges yet, and that's okay. There is still plenty of time. I wanted to get this information out, just knowing some of, like I said, with some of these big sales that are going to be coming in the next 6 weeks or so, 6 to 8 weeks. I wanted to just kind of get it on your radar. But if you don't know where you're going to school, if you have a roommate and you have not talked through and don't know who that's going to be yet, and you don't know what you're going to have, you don't know what they might already have, if there's a refrigerator or a microwave, you don't have to go out and buy some of those bigger things right now. Those are things that you can look at purchasing, keep an eye on. Yep, if we're going to buy it, this is what I think I really would like, but that's not something that you have to look at doing right away. The other thing is, what kind of dorm are you going to have? Is there going to be a bathroom that's attached to the room? Are you going to have more of a community bathroom with multiple shower stalls? So some of those things are items to consider when you're looking at storage in that dorm room. Another thing to consider is, what do the beds look like? Are you going to have a loft? Are you going to build a loft for your bed? Is that something where you know, under the bed storage, that you'll learn more about that when you know what your room looks like? And then having conversations once you know who your roommate is to see, is somebody bringing a rug? Is somebody bringing carpet in? Are you going to look at potentially having a mini fridge or a microwave? You don't want to spend that money and duplicate it. So those might be some bigger things to hold off on just until you know a little bit more. So one of the things that you can certainly take a look at is bedding. So that might just be knowing, okay, this is the type of bed that, this is the type of bedspread or duvet cover that I want to have, all of those kinds of things. So that is definitely something that you can take a look at. One thing to be aware of in dorms is that some dorms will have a twin size bed. Others are going to have a twin extra long bed, so that it's suitable for students that are on the taller side. When you're looking at bedding, several different things to consider. A waterproof mattress cover that's zippered can be a really good thing. That can help just to just as a base layer that goes around that mattress. Then some students will get some type of mattress topper, so something that's a couple inches of that foam to be able to have just a little bit more cushion and make things a little bit more comfortable for students. Then a mattress pad and sheets. Bed in a bag can be a wonderful way to look for bedding. Some students will find that it will have, your pillowcases. It's going to have pillow shams, some throw pillows potentially, that bedspread or duvet cover. So those are all things to consider. You will end up getting information from the college that there might be some different deals that you can look into. So again, not something that you necessarily need to take a look at right away. And some people want to coordinate with a roommate, or others want to just be able to do their own thing. And any of those are okay. So these are just some items to consider, that bedding at some point, the type of bed will make a difference. So that might not be something that you can get right away with some of those deals that are going to be happening towards the end of November, but something that definitely is coming. One thing you can definitely take a look at purchasing now would be things like towels, shower caddies, laundry bags. A lot of times students will get something that is mesh and that has some handles that they can easily carry it. Things like shower shoes or sandals to be able to wear and take to the shower. And again, some of this is going to depend on where your student is living, and or if you as the student are living, and to see if there is something like if the bathroom is attached directly to your living quarters, or if it's something that you're going to have to walk down the hallway. If you're walking down the hallway, a robe is also another really nice thing to be able to consider. And even if your bathroom is attached. So those are a couple things for the bedroom and bathroom, or for bedding in the bathroom. Storage wise, again, some of this you might not know about, but right away. But if you are going to have storage space underneath your bed, if you're going to build that loft bed, if you are going to have your bed on risers so that you can put some things underneath the bed, that can be a really great thing to consider. And maybe some under the bed bins, or some type of, if you're having a loft bed, some of those plastic bins. That's another thing that you can look at online in that Facebook marketplace and see if there are any options for you. Now, one thing that I have seen is that students going into the dorms will get IKEA. If you have an IKEA near you, or you can order it online, it's called the Fratka bag. I think that's how you say it, Fratka. Or there is also a more heavy-duty version of that from Earthwise. It's called the heavy-duty extra large storage bag. And that could be really good to put clothes in. It zips up. You can there are handles that you actually can put it on your back to wear in. Those Earthwise bags, you can get them on Amazon, and there are packs of 8. And if you get them when they're on sale, I think that pack of 8 is maybe $24, $25, somewhere around there, I think was the most recent price I've seen. They are going to be a little bit more heavy duty, but those have been a huge thing that are recommended by students, families that I've worked with, families that I've seen, people sharing. So that can be a great thing. As far as the bedroom, if you are going to have bunk beds, then having some kind of clip-on light for the top of your bunk bed so that you can have that as a nightlight. Having some kind of shelf potentially to see what you want to have, to be able to charge your phone, to be able to have easy access if you wanted a glass of water or a bottle of water or something like that. Those, having some of those things for just by your bed if you are on the top bunk is something. And even if you're on the bottom bunk, being able to know that you've got that night light so that you can easily turn that off when you're ready to go to bed, and you're not having to get out of bed, and it's not something that's disturbing your roommates. You might consider just some general things, some potential gifts, a desk lamp, different command strips for hanging up any kind of wall art, a coffee pot, a Brita pitcher, charging cords that are longer, especially again if you go back to that you are on the top bunk. That is something that could be incredibly helpful. On that same note, having several power strips or surge protectors, and also a charging station with different USB ports. When you think about, you've got phone, you have AirPods or some type of earbuds for listening to music or podcasts or whatever that might be, being able to have easy access to charging. A fan is another really good thing, even if you are not somewhere where it gets super hot in the summer. Sometimes in the winter, your students don't have, in the dorm, you don't have the control over the thermostat. So it might end up getting to a point where it is really warm and you want to be able to have a fan on just for some, just for a little bit of extra air. So decorations, if your student is somebody who really wants to, or you as the student, you really enjoy different seasonal items, a great time to stock up on some of those kinds of things is going to be right after that season has ended, and you can get things at a huge discount. If you are going to be going to school somewhere up north, consider things like winter coats, things like hats, gloves, scarves, boots, making sure that you are going to be able to stay nice and warm. Slippers. Right after the Christmas season is done, string lights are often something that are very inexpensive. They go on a huge sale, so that can be a really good thing. Things like mugs or cups, some basic, like a single set of dishes. That might be even something that you can go to a local store or thrift store or something like that to see what's available. And then gift cards are always a great thing for students to be able to have so that they can get what they need. So I know this was a little bit longer than our normal episode, but those are some basic things. And when we get closer to the spring, I'll probably do another episode with just some other information, other ideas, hints, and tips. But as you are doing any kind of shopping or looking for deals, I hope that this is helpful for you. As a reminder, if you can leave us a review, we would love if you would do that. Share the podcast with other people if it is something that you feel like would be helpful to them. We also have our Facebook group. It's Confused to Ready is the name of that Facebook group, and we would love to have you join us. And if you have any interest in chatting more with me, please send me an email. It's admin@confusedtoready.com, and I would love to touch base with you. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.